Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the KriegerCast. I'm your host, Patrick Krieger, and today I'll be taking you on a tour of Pacific City at Christmas time to see what sort of decorations they have. Now, I watched Pacific City develop for years. I am a Huntington Beach local, and I remember it being a vacant lot for just ever. And it's nice to see something there. And it's frankly been there for a number of years. I just don't go too often. It has a great parking structure underground with what seems like plenty of parking, but it was pretty full. Though I do have to say it's not very clearly marked, so it's easy to get lost. We first went to Cherry Hills Market. Now, the interesting thing about Cherry Hill Market was it was the only store that really caught my eye. I thought it'd be full of a bunch of bric-a-brac that I could look through, and it did have some really cool knickknacks, but it had a lot of olive oil and spices, which I thought was interesting because now there's 2 olive oil stores at Pacific City, but this one was very festive. In fact, it was the most festive store in the entire mall. It's definitely worth a stop, and like I said, it's the most eye-catching store there. I think of Pacific City as more of a food place, but, as it says, quite possibly the coolest store ever. Not so sure about that, but it's definitely the coolest store at this mall. And it's got a great view of our pier. There are these weird Christmas sort of New Age decorations all over the mall. I have to say I don't particularly like them. But one kind of cool thing is they had Santa's house, which, is the stereotypical mall Santa, but this time in an Airstream. As you can see, this mall is very open air, and, since we are on the coast, it's kind of cool that you can be outside at the mall. This was the most Christmassy thing at the mall. It was their Christmas tree. There were a couple of these throughout the mall. And, of course, more of those strange New Age decorations. I have to say I don't like them very much, and I wonder if they really do light up at night. There were a ton of events going on this time of year, and I think that's really awesome, trying to get the community involved. My mother, for some reason, really wanted to go to Urban Outfitters, and I have to say I didn't particularly like their decorations. This was the entire extent of their decorations. However, they also had some unusual clothing items. They have that kind of hipster vibe at Urban Outfitters, as evidenced by the fact that they sell film cameras, which I actually thought was pretty cool. They sold several varieties of film, as well as these little Insta Mini cameras, which I thought were pretty cool. The mall has a fantastic selection of foliage. There's a ton of greenery throughout the mall, and a lot of grasses and succulents and ferns. It really adds to the tropical feel of this place. I adored this little purple plant here. It actually reminds me a lot of Maui, which is weird because I don't really get that vibe from Huntington Beach too often. The whole mall has this kind of modernist thing going on with a lot of exposed concrete and ironwork. There is the other Christmas tree I saw, as well as what appear to be some Christmas lights. This is the entrance to their eating area. I don't exactly remember what Lot 579 means, but I think it has some significance. We went to the American Dream. American Dream is a little burger joint in the corner of the food hall. I just love their decor with the fancy exposed light bulbs, the beer kegs on display. They are quite proud of their number of beer taps, as well as they continue the motif of the exposed metal. I just love the exposed metal look. And they were even slightly festive. Their menu is the typical sort of build-your-own burger joint menu. They have a variety of pre-made burgers as well as many add-ons you could use to build your own. I decided on the barbecue stout bacon burger because it seemed like the perfect blend of meat and barbecue-ness. While we waited for our burgers, we took in the beautiful scenery of the Pacific Coast Highway as well as our beach. While they do have a fantastic bar, I opted for a Coca-Cola, and you may notice there was a little button there. I left a button at this restaurant to see if anyone would notice it. My father again ordered some cauliflowers, this time panko fried, if I'm not mistaken, and covered in buffalo barbecue sauce. I got white truffle fries, which were not as truffly as I would have liked, but the sauce was, and the burger was just absolutely fantastic, piled high with shoestring onions and an absolutely delicious barbecue sauce. However, the burger was slightly too big for me, especially since my dad shared some of his cauliflower, so I had to bring some home. The sun started to set, and we decided it was time to head home. But the American Dream is a must-stop if you're in the area. We grabbed some coffee at Portola Coffee Lab because, like I said, it was getting late in the day and we wanted that caffeine boost. And Portola seems to be putting on its festive hat as well. They had a special menu for the season, and I decided to get the Starlight Starbright latte, which was like a peppermint latte. They said that it literally sparkled. It did not literally sparkle. And it's based off their mocha. If you're ever in the area, do stop at Portola and pick up a mocha. They're now a chain, but they used to be only one store. Well, thank you very much for joining me on this tour. Until next time, see you out there.